Okay. So this is a story called Panacea that we wrote together. We started at the first day of camp, and for the past 2 weeks we have been collaborating with each other. It's been a difficult process, but it came together to be actually a very, very good story that we worked on together.
Aria, you go first. I tried to take a deep breath, but the jungle air was too thick with humidity. I nodded once, trying to seem brave, and lifted my chin confidently. I told myself I'd be fine, that I would just cut through these vines and get to the other side, and everything would be okay. But there was a reason the group had a designated guinea pig. This wasn't an ordinary jungle.
Our youth riding camp is more than just a summer camp for kids. We have 3 audiences that we really look to serve as our team plans out the activities for the camps. We have our students, of course, who are signing up for an innovative riding experience over the course of the 2 weeks that they attend camp.
I really love to ride, and this I notice here is where I get some of my good ideas, and it's just fun to kind of have other people review my writings because I'm usually not comfortable sharing them, but here I just feel more comfortable sharing them, so I get sort of that feedback that you really need as a writer.
We also have our TCs, which are teacher consultants, and these are the teachers that are writing project trained. And then in addition to that, we have teachers that actually join us. They sign up for actually a 4-credit course. And actually what they do is they're really seeking to transform the teaching of writing in their classrooms. So they work alongside our teacher consultants to actually staff.
Completely different than teaching in the classroom. Different type of kid, different outcome, I guess. So we were a lot more hands-off than we thought we were going to be, which was an adjustment.
So the teacher consultants, they serve as mentors in those classrooms for camp. And so they're not only mentoring the students that are there, the kids that attend, they're actually mentoring local teachers who really, really want to look to improve their teaching of writing in their classroom.
Camp and the experimentation that we're allowed to do here, I think made a lot of things possible.
Back at the beginning of the last school year, we came across an exciting project happening in other writing project locations in really exploring understanding systems thinking in teaching and learning. What this is in a nutshell is this notion of everything being interconnected, and for students to really understand what it's like to participate in a global society, they had to view the world as interconnected.
It goes back to the in-service that we went to, and they had a systems design lesson on an airplane factory, and I just remember sitting at the tables and just being uncomfortable. I knew some of the people there, but a lot of people I did not know and I was unfamiliar with, and I just didn't really have a good feeling, and they were very mysterious about what we were going to do. And then we started doing, and it was fun, it was engaging, it was interactive. And so I really liked, how the lesson came off, because it really was a great way to get people working together in a meaningful context, and you just felt comfortable doing it, because I always personally don't feel comfortable with name games and things like that are typical ice-breaking things, and I just really love the idea. And I went into discussing the systems approach. It was, we got this PowerPoint that then everybody was like, I don't know what this thing is, but when they had the concept of the activity and then they went and explained some of the things, I saw so many connections that I could use with students.
Systems design thinking incorporates technology, but it tends to look at the way work gets done a little bit differently. It explores creativity and really encourages kids to be creative about the things that they actually write or think of. And then there's a portion where there is editing and some play with those things that they create. There, of course, it feeds through into publishing what they come up with. We thought this was such an exciting approach to learning and to writing that we wanted to incorporate it in our summer youth writing camp this year.
And then when it came time to the writing camp, we were talking about how could we do this in the context of the writing camp, and a lot of people were freaked out about it, but I was like, no, we could do this. We just have to adjust it a little bit and make it appropriate to what we want to do. So I always had that in the back of my mind. I was kind of excited for this year's camp in some ways because it was a chance to really try this. How can you take this idea and transform it into a writing context?
Definitely new. I'd never done, in all my 4 years, we never done a group project. I thought it wasn't really interesting because you get this whole new perspective on group writing and writing together, because it's not just the words anymore, it's working with people and you have to compromise, because I think we focus more on compromising and working together. Like, that was more of the challenge than actually getting the story. So it kind of gave this new challenge in writing camp that I'd never seen before.
People were skeptical. They're like, let's play the name game, you know? And I was just like, let's just try it, see what happens. You know, if it doesn't work the first day, I mean, it could only be a 30-minute activity and then we just move on. But let's just give it a try. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna trust you on this one.
Square peg, round hole. That's how it very much felt that way in the beginning. Or my initial impression. Like, you want us to try to do what now? Yeah.
It just kind of happened really organically. So the first day we didn't know if it would go on beyond the first day. Like, it was something we were going to integrate and see.
It was fun working with a group of people who you don't really know, but you all kind of like are really passionate about the same things.
So it was great to have some instruction, some experience with that in service, and then have time to really think about it, and then have a great experience like the writing camp with 12 great students to try and see what happens.
What the teachers that worked with us and what our teacher consultants noticed in the camps was that when students were really, really passionate about something they were working on and something that they were writing, the possibilities were endless. Not only did they work on it in camp, but they worked on it after camp in online spaces that they connected in. And they wrote really what is a pretty incredible example of collaborative dystopian fiction writing, all based on this idea of setting, character, plot, all these little components of story being interconnected, which is really what got them started on what became an organic project for them.